FPL Donatello's podcast episode 2. We are here. I'm out here dressed up like Ghostface Killa in 1995. Shout out Wu-Tang one time. I'm here with the legendary brand new YouTuber Blues FPL. Please check him out. Blues FPL. Thank you for joining me, man.
What's up, guys? Thank you so much, Don. I really enjoy it, and hopefully this goes well.
I hope so too. He's one of the many people who are trying to convince me to become a Chelsea supporter.
Yeah, you gotta be. Come
I'm
on.
trying to hold off a little bit on my decision here, but it's convincing, man. I do love N'Golo Kante. All right, so I guess we'll start. Go ahead and start. I started with some music last time, but I don't have my keyboard by me right now. That'll help out
You're
everybody.
probably get copyright striked.
What's that?
You're probably gonna get a copyright strike at this
Yeah,
point.
yeah. It won't be the first time I've had that happen in my videos. I think I got that back in the day. I played like "I hit him high, hit him high." You remember that song from Space Jam? Anyway,
No, not particularly.
more LL Cool J isn't it? Anyway, all right, dude. Welcome. So we go over Gameweek 23 real quick. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna bring my team up so we can talk about mine first. And I feel like that's not the best thing to do as a host. I feel like the host should go second, right?
I think you have more points than me, so you should probably start. You're the expert of the week.
I don't know if I'm the expert of the week, man. This is what my team looks like. I ended up with 58 points. 58 points, man. My boy Rafinha came in clutch for me. I love Rafinha so much, dude. He's so good.
He's good.
He's only like what 5.4. He scored like 13 points one week, 9 the week before, and then he drops in price. Yeah, 13, 5,
like
9.
2% owned.
Yeah, he's still 2% selected right now. And he has a double game week coming up too.
Yeah, Leeds are really good assets right now. I think Rafinha's a standout. Bamford, you have to have him, and then Dallas, you can have him as your differential. And if he gets those attacking returns, man, he gets like 10 plus points. Yeah. Big differential.
Is that your top 3 Leeds players right now, by the way? Because I know a lot of people are going to go into Leeds, and I guess we're going to go into this later, but might as well go into it now. A lot of people are looking to get Leeds in for their double. Who are your top 3? Is that it?
I think based on form right now, Rafinha has to be number 1. He's just so attacking, and there's some stat that he was going to get like 4 expected assists last week. Bamford, I mean, you have to have him because a lot of people have him, and if you don't, and if he scores a lot of points, you'll go down in rank. And then a lot of people are looking to bring in Dallas this week or next week. And I mean, Leeds are bad at defense, and somehow he still keeps on scoring. He's in that center attacking mid position now, and if he stays there, then yeah, he's a great asset. So yeah, I think that's my 1, 2, and 3.
I'm with you. I actually think Dallas should be higher on a lot of people's radars. I mean, I'm looking right now at the top 4 scoring defenders in FPL this season, and 2 of them started at 4.5, being James Justin and Dallas. And now that he's playing that center attacking mid role, that center mid role, man, out of position. He's still only 4.8 mil.
Yeah, a lot of people had him and they like sold him on for some reason. I don't know why.
I think it was just because of double game weeks, I believe, if I had to speculate. But he still has a decent run of fixtures coming up. He's got Arsenal, Wolverhampton, Southampton, Villa, and West Ham. So a decent run of fixtures to go.
Especially those first 3. Yeah.
So, yeah, Dallas is one of those players that I should have brought him in earlier. I have Stroik. That's my 3rd Leeds player. I don't know if you see. I got Stroik down there.
Oh, did you see him? He could have scored like 4 or 5 goals last game. Like header after header, he just kept missing. I was like, "What are you doing?"
I've watched him play a lot this season. He's had that happen a few times where he rises up for a header, and I'm like, "Oh, that's going in," and he kind of just whiffs it. But
he was like what 2 feet from the goal. I don't know.
I actually had that happen. One of my buddies when I played soccer with, or football with, excuse me, all my English fans. The ball is coming this way. He did the same thing and went to head it, and he just boom bounced that way. Kind of same thing as Stroik, man. But yeah, that's how my squad went. I felt good about that Bruno captaincy call. Ended up getting 14 points with the armband on him. I was just really pumped about it. I mean, he was blanking. He's been. A lot of people say he's struggling, but you know, cream always rises to the top, man. And there he is, putting up just an absolutely lovely goal. Did you see it?
Yeah. Outside the box.
Yeah,
he let the ball through and he got it back. Yeah, it was perfect.
That was disgusting. So yeah, that's how my team went. Cresswell again has just been money for me. As far as Danny Ings, Big Daddy Kane. I went with Daddy Ings instead of Cavani a couple weeks ago, and I went with Danny Ings instead of DCL 2 weeks ago. Yeah.
Yeah.
PT school getting to me, man. I just wanted to be different. I thought Cavani was too much of a rotation risk, and DCL, I was just nervous with how his last like 8-10 game weeks went, and could you imagine?
If Southampton were on good form, I think Danny Ings is perfect, but
yeah,
just the way they're playing right now kind of scares me.
All right, do you want to bring up your squad? Let's talk about it.
Yeah, sure.
And here is Blues FPL squad, man. Can I just say that your ranking just blows mine out of the water.
It was bad. It was a lot better. It was 43K last week, but yeah.
Now you're at 68K. That is, oh my gosh. See, this is why you guys got to subscribe to Blues FPL, man. Support your local YouTubers.
All right. So I got what, 56, 50. Yeah. So if you look at my bench, I mean.
Oh, that's right. One of those.
Oh. And Stone's almost scored as well. Well, he did score, but it was offsides.
36. Oh, he did. Were you happy that happened?
I mean, I think, right? But a lot of people don't Stones as well. So
36 points on your bench. Oh,
it's happened. I think 4 weeks now that I've benched 100 points in those 4 weeks.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Use your bench boost.
I would have been top like 1K or 2K if that didn't happen.
Did you use your bench boost for any of those?
Yeah, I used it before.
Oh, okay.
This is like the aftermath of the whole bench boost saga. So. But I mean, picks are justified. Pope was playing Brighton. Brighton played pretty bad. Burnley dominated that game. Of course, the guy didn't stay on his line, and they scored from a corner. And then Martinez, there was like this video that came out that he grabbed Lacazette and like pulled him down when there was like a cross.
I saw it.
And VAR didn't give that. So on another day, those two scores basically switch.
That's one that you kind of just have to live with the result. You made the right decision. You played the odds. It just didn't work out, you know?
Yeah. I don't know about the DS Salah thing. I mean, I didn't want to risk it. I was going to go double Man City, and then I would have lost my Salah points. And maybe I go Gundogan Salah, but then what if Man City get a clean sheet and Gundogan misses? So yeah, there's that. And then, of course, Gundogan missed the penalty, and I was celebrating. I'm like, great choice. And so this week was
I saw so many people on Twitter just when he missed that pen, everyone was like, he sucks. This is why I should have never had a 5.5 mil captain.
And then, of course,
10 minutes later, that's why I have him as my captain, you know? Oh, dude, this looks like a good week, man. I mean, Dallas balled out, got 12 points. James Justin, my arch rival right now, outside of Hudson-Odoi, who took away my double clean sheet 2 months ago that I'm still bitter about. James Justin balling out again. You have two of the top 4 scoring defenders, and they're 4.5 mil. You also have Diaz. That's 3 of the top 4. Then you have Souček and just should we talk about Souček real quick?
I mean, how? Like why? Like what was the thinking between
how
you spent like 5 minutes looking at that screen and somehow justified giving a red card? I mean, and like violent conduct? Like, I don't know.
I think I had this conversation with somebody on Twitter. I agree that his hand shouldn't have been that high. But in no world do I think that that's a red card.
And then it said violent conduct. Like, what? I mean, this is ridiculous. Like, this is sport. You're gonna touch people. It's
lost 3 points because of that.
Yep, and a possible goal from the free kick. So.
Oh yeah, huh? Oh. Hey, I mean, you benched a lot of points, but at the end of the day, you had a decent week. All things considered, you had a captaincy blank. And you had a lot of points on the bench, but all things considered, it's not the worst week.
I mean, I always consider even if I have points on the bench, at least my team is scoring points. Like, I'm not trying to get in players that are scoring points. For now, I'm basically justified with my whole team. Even this week, like, I really don't have to make a transfer, but yeah.
All right, let's talk about that then real quick. Easy transition for me. What are your plans for the double game week 24?
So obviously a lot of doubles this week. I got Pope. Probably Burnley has the best 2 fixtures. I sold him for Areola. He also had a double, but I just can't trust that Fulham defense. And
Although they do
it's
look a lot
justified.
better.
Of course, the one game, yeah, they switched to a back four and they totally dominated against West Ham, but uh, they play Everton and then somebody else. So yeah, and
Yeah, I
then
agree.
my back line, obviously, have the 2 defenders. I'm not really scared of Console at this point. I kind of was a few weeks ago, but he doesn't look as attacking, and I just think that Stones and Diaz have a better chance to start, especially if Laporte plays left back.
Yeah, I was.
And Kufal might be my transfer out this week, even though he has
Oh,
Sheffield. Yeah, so
that's a
if
tough
I'm looking at,
call.
so I have 2 transfers, and if you look at my team, there's really not much you would do. Dallas has a double game week next week, so I'm not going to transfer him out.
Absolutely not.
Suchek is starting for me right now. Um, James Justin plays Liverpool, but Liverpool are struggling, and I mean, long term, he's got great fixtures, so there's really no point unless I really look to wild card. But I don't want to force my hand too much.
I agree.
And other than that, all my team is pretty good. So
Not
yeah,
gonna
I'm
make,
probably gonna pick out.
so you're
Hmm?
not gonna make too many moves this week?
No, I think I'm gonna make 1 transfer this week and then 2 next week, or yeah, something like that. So I'm gonna try to take out Kufal and I'll probably bring in Lowton from
Ooh,
Burnley. Go double Burnley. Yeah. So hopefully that's mega differential. A lot
that'll
of
give you 6
people.
double game week players.
Yeah. Yeah. If Burnley get 2 clean sheets, that'll be amazing. So.
Oh,
And then West Ham just lost they're going to have no double game weeks. Ben Crellin said that on Twitter because they lost to Man United.
no
So they're
way.
only going to have single game weeks from now on. Yeah, for the rest of the season, unless some COVID thing happens. So I'm going to try to get rid of all the West Ham assets slowly.
You tripled
So
up, right?
Koval's probably going to go this week. And then next week, it's probably going to be Suchek and Antonio
Mm-hmm.
if I don't get rid of Antonio this week. And I'm trying to look at like Rafinha because Leeds obviously have that double. And then
I
for
love
my
Liverpool.
striker, if I get loan, it gives me just enough money with like a little bit in the bank to get Harry Kane. So
Ooh,
yeah,
not bad, man. I think that's a great plan. I'm a big Rafinha fan, as you haven't been able to tell so far in this. I've had him
yeah.
for quite some, like about a month or so in my squad now. I'm just a big fan. On set pieces, he looks so creative on a team that just push. I don't care if they're down 7-1 or up 7-1. They are fighting, man. They give a lot
Always.
of effort.
Yeah. Offensively and defensively.
Yeah, 100%. And I like getting rid of the West Ham players now. I mean, they have Sheffield, which is a really good fixture this week. So for me, it's hard to bench them, but I get why you're doing it, to bring in a Burnley defender. And after that, though, they have Tottenham, they have City, they have Leeds, United, Arsenal, Wolverhampton, Leicester. So it does not get much easier for them in these next 8 game weeks. So I'm liking getting rid of the West Ham players. Overall, I think who's your actually we'll go into that a little bit later. I like the squad, man. As far as me,
Yeah.
as far as my plans, this is what my team's looking like right now. Swoop, there it is. All right. So right now I only have what 2 double game week players. I have 2 free transfers right now, so I have a lot that I could work with. Antonio seems to be hurt. He didn't play today, if I'm not mistaken. I was in
Yeah, he
class
wasn't
all
even on
day,
the
so
bench.
he didn't play.
No.
I'm hearing he might not be fit for the weekend either. I mean, he went off early grabbing his hammy, so he's good. As much as I don't want to get rid of him, but it is what it is. I'm either going to bring in. See, this is where I struggle. I could bring in DCL this
No?
week.
Yeah.
I could bring in DCL this week, and then the week after, I have enough cash to get Harry Kane back in. So I'm probably gonna bring in DCL for Antonio this week, and then I'm gonna drop Bravo finally. As much as it hurts me, I think I'm gonna drop Bravo and bring in James Justin. James Justin will not play for me this week. It's just a long-term pick.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of torn between making that transfer now or just making only the one and bringing in DCL. I don't know. Maybe I bring in like Ben Mee so I can get a more double game week players. I'm undecided right now. I'm undecided.
So do you have the cash to get Antonio to DCL, or do you have to get rid of Bravo?
I got 3 mil in the bank. I could
Oh,
go
okay.
straight.
So then you don't have to get rid of Robbo. Yeah.
No, I think I'm just gonna
Yeah.
go Antonio straight to
DCL.
yeah. I could drop Bravo down and bring myself in a double game week player, and then the
Mhm.
week after I'll drop Cresswell to James Justin because I don't like Cresswell's fixtures moving forward. I'll drop him down to
Mhm.
James Justin and maybe upgrade Harry Kane that week from DCL to HK. I'm undecided. Ugh.
Yeah, but it's probably best to wait, like maybe not the
Yeah.
last hour, but like last day because the FA Cup fixture's still going around, and then we'll find out. Hopefully, I mean, there's still rumors that there might not even be a double game in 26.
Whoa! I thought that wasn't that supposed to be the biggest one?
Yeah, I mean, it's supposed to happen, but I mean, it could still not happen. But 2029 is definitely happening. So yeah, we'll have to see. Hopefully, they get announced this week. But
I think that's a. I'll have to stay on Twitter and check that out. But I don't. As far as like other players, I don't want to get rid of anybody else. Like Ings has been off a little bit, but I don't want to get him the week before he has a double. And his double
mm,
looks pretty good too. I think he has Leeds in one, and his other one I think is tough, like Chelsea. Uh,
yeah, yeah, he
yeah,
plays
Chelsea are trash squad anyway. So,
uh,
actually, you know what? Let's deviate real quick. Who are your top Chelsea assets right now? As a Chelsea supporter, they have a. Let me check their schedule real quick or their fixtures because I'm pretty sure that they have a decent-ish run of fixtures here over the next 5.
little bit. Yeah, it gets. I mean, it gets tougher.
Yeah, so they have Newcastle this week. Southampton United's obviously a tough game. Then they have Everton and Leeds. So it's not the best schedule in the world, but it's definitely not the worst. And if you get a Chelsea asset at this point, it's a differential. I mean,
Oh,
you might be able to get to the hype train a little early. Who do you suggest as a Chelsea supporter?
so I mean, for
On
those
the spot.
first two, yeah, for those first two, maybe a defender, but then after that it gets bad. So, I mean, for defense, maybe Rudiger. Thiago Silva's still out this week. Probably going to be out next week as well. Zuma looks out of favor, so
Which is
I think
crazy.
Rudiger. Yeah, he's attacking on corners as well. Even though he's not that great, but he still
He was
gets a lot of.
attacking last week too, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Put one in the
He
back
has
of the
another own goal.
net. He
That'll
put
be
it away,
great.
man. Put it in the back of the net. That's what matters.
Yeah.
Nah,
Um,
but the good news is, I mean, they play Newcastle, and it seems like Callum Wilson's going to be out for 3 weeks. Hope he gets better first off soon.
oh, really? Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I didn't hear any news about that.
that's what at least Dylan. I don't know if you met Dylan. Shout out Dylan one time. He's a Newcastle supporter. He was talking about that. It looks like Wilson might be out, and
Okay.
Newcastle at home without Wilson.
Oh, terrible.
That
Unless
should be a
unless
clean sheet.
St. Maximin does something, but that's the
What,
only hope at this point.
what are your thoughts of Chilwell? Is it just best just to stay away from Chilwell at the moment?
Even Marcus Alonso, like they're switching it up. Tuchel likes to rotate a lot. That's why I'm kind of like iffy about Chelsea assets. Even defense, the goalie's probably the most nailed at this point.
Yeah,
Um,
Kepa ain't coming in.
I hope not. I mean, you could, but
As someone who
I,
owns Danny Ings in Game Week 25, I hope he bring in Kepa.
yeah, I hope that never happens. I hope we sell him. But yeah, I don't think anybody's gonna buy him. And
So
then
defenders, just to recap, is just simply just going to be Rudiger. It seems
I
like
think
everyone's too much of a rotation risk to really
yeah,
warrant.
even Marcus Alonso. I mean, he's great attacking wise, and if we get a clean sheet, that's obviously good for him. But yeah, the rotation is it's trippy. Even Reece James, like there's so much rotation under
Mhm.
Tuchel.
So what are you going
And
to do?
then
What about attackers?
attackers, I mean, the system is perfect for Werner, so I feel like Werner might not be rotated as much. But I mean,
2 assists last week, right?
to
2
be honest,
FPL assists.
yeah, he's playing a lot better now. They're trying to look for him. They're playing towards his style. Like in Leipzig, they're looking at him making those runs and putting through balls. And
So, so,
Frank Lampard really wasn't doing that, but Tuchel is. So
so
maybe Werner.
my buddy's a big Chelsea supporter as well, and he was saying that this system fits Werner a lot better. Now that's not.
Oh
I'm
yeah,
not here to say that Werner is suddenly throw him in your squad at that value over someone that you can get like a little bit extra, get Harry Kane in and whatnot. But I'd keep an eye out on it.
yeah. I think Werner at some point this season, if he starts scoring, is a great option, especially with those little forwards actually doing well. So yeah,
What
and
about
then
what about our boy Christian Pulisic?
yeah, I was just about to mention
Oh,
him.
for real? Oh, sorry.
No, it's fine. Once again, I mean, it's rotation risk. The system is like, it's so weird. It's playing like a 3-4-2-1 or 1-2.
Mhm.
So there's either two strikers and one center attacking mid, or two center attacking mid slash wingers and one striker. So it's probably best to stay away from attackers. If you really want one, maybe Werner, if you want to get on the hype train before everybody jumps on. But other
Yeah,
than that, even Hudson-Odoi, I still, yeah.
Hudson-Odoi, you still recommend him?
I don't know. I wouldn't. I wouldn't personally. It's too risky.
So I'm looking right now at the top scoring strikers. I don't really have. It takes too much time for me to dive into stats while I'm podcasting. But as far as the top scoring strikers in FPL this season, Werner actually comes in 8th place.
Yeah, there's so many struggle. I mean, it's so weird, right?
Right?
Usually there's so many of them to choose from. Like last year, Jimenez, obviously he's injured, but Ings
Like
and Farley and Kane and Aguero. But now
it's
it's
all
even the
budget.
cheap ones. So yeah.
All budget. I mean, I'm a little surprised on that. Well, first off, yeah, I think you're right. All the budget strikers, the ones that are really performing, save some cash and drop low outside like Harry Kane. But
Yeah.
I mean, you have or Jamie Vardy if he's healthy, right?
Yeah.
He's just a little. He's 1 point short of Bobby Firmino, which I mean, Firmino's never been the best FPL asset, right?
Mm,
I think he's underrated as a player, but FPL asset, no. But he has more points than Adams, Danny Ings, Lacazette, Martial, Jesus for Charlison. I mean, it's not like I'm not saying he's in like the best of company, especially because some of those have been hurt this season. But I'm a little surprised he's actually up to 87 points with how much I think he's dropped off this season. What I thought he was going to be.
I mean, the beginning of the season, he was doing really well. He was scoring and getting assists, so that probably helps him out. But yeah, he's dropped off for a while. I hope he's
So
back though. I hope
yeah.
he's a lot better.
So those are good recommendations right there. I guess the moral of the story is just it's too much of rotation risk to throw out all that cash on Chelsea assets right now. As much
Yeah,
as you
even
love
though
to.
there's a lot of cash to spend on, I wouldn't do it personally.
Agreed. All right. So that boils into who are your top transfers to bring in this week. A lot of viewers out there are going to be listening. A ton of viewers, dude, are going to be
Mm.
they're going to be wanting to know who to bring in this week. Who are the best players to bring in for the double game week 24? Who are best players to bring in for 25? Who should they start playing for? Who you got?
So, I mean, Burnley has the easiest and the best fixtures this week. I wouldn't go into their attack too much, but defensively, I think Nick Pope is a great option. You can still get save points, and based on the way that Burnley play, they pass long and they don't make many. The defenders don't get many passes. So at the end of the game, if they get a clean sheet, Nick Pope basically is guaranteed 3 points
Yep. Yep.
just from that. You
That's what
could
I
go
love
for a
about Nick
Burnley
Pope.
defender. Yeah, yeah. You can go for a Burnley defender. Loan is guaranteed to start even when Charlie Taylor does come back. I wish Charlie Taylor was back. That'd be my number one option because he's so attacking.
Mm-hmm.
There's been me and Tarkovsky, but I feel like it's too much money, especially since KDB's almost back and Kane's back. Vardy's going to be back. I think he already played off. He came off the bench. So you don't want to spend too much money now. I think if you spent money, you probably want to downgrade some players to free up some cash now. So I think that Loughton's probably the best one. Loughton and Pope for Burnley. And then Man City, everybody basically has at least two Man City players.
Have to.
I think you have to go with Diaz in defense just because he's guaranteed
Have
to
to.
start basically. Yep. And if he starts both games and they get 2 clean sheets, then that's guaranteed 12 points at least. Gundogan's a great option. Hopefully still on penalties. I mean, Pep was talking
He'll
about
go to
this
Sterling now.
Ederson thing is scaring me, but
Dude, if Ederson really takes a pen, oh my,
everyone's kidding. He's 100%. He's coming into my team.
has to. I mean, they're already the best defensive team in the Prem, bar none. It's not even close. Not even close.
He'll be
And
the
then
greatest FPL option ever.
you have a keeper who can be on pen, so that's like almost 6 points guaranteed from a clean sheet. Not guaranteed, but a very high opportunity of 6 points. He scores. I don't even know how much keepers get for scoring.
I think it's the same as defenders. I think it's only 6 points,
Six,
sadly.
so he's up to 12, and then if
Yep.
he scores, he's getting bonus
And it's
points.
bonus, right? 3
So that's
bonus.
15 right there. Oh my!
And then the 2, and then he plays 2 halves, so it gets 17. Yeah, it's
Get out of here! Get out of
amazing.
here! Get out, dude! Yeah, put him in my team ASAP.
Yeah, look at Ederson. I put down a watch list. If they get another penalty, and if he takes it, 100% try to get him in.
I hear he's phenomenal at pens.
I mean, Pep's talking about him. He talked about him last year. I'm surprised he still hasn't done it, but
yep.
Yeah.
I heard Sergio Aguero's back on the training ground, by the way.
We'll see if he plays. I doubt it.
I'm not saying to bring him in, by the way.
Yeah.
I'm not saying to bring him in just yet. He's still too much of a. I've said this, I think, all year, that even when he gets healthy, I think they're still going to just rotate him in the Prem and rest him for Champions League, where they really, really want to do well.
Yeah, I think so. Especially they have Jesus, and they can play Foden at center forward, that false 9. So
yeah.
Those
are good suggestions. I mean, just going through Burnley squad right now. I mean, I think defenders is the way you want to go this week. I don't trust any attacker Burnley has, and they have Crystal Palace without Zaha, which just looks so dormant. And then they have Fulham. Now, I could see Fulham goal more than I see a Crystal Palace goal, but I mean, yeah, Me's 5 mil. I think you just need to get somebody in. Loughton's 4.5.
I went up yesterday, yeah.
And I got asked a question on the pod or on the live stream, or maybe it was just on, I don't remember what it was, but they asked, would it be worth the -4 to get Pope out for or to get Martinez out for Pope this week? What do you think?
No, I get rid of your other goalie. Wernes has to stay. Just the way that Phil have been playing. I know, like, the short term, his fixtures aren't great, but long term, they're still good. And just the way he's been playing, I think Martinez and Pope are probably going to be 1 and 2. Maybe not that order. Maybe Pope gets first, but from points of goalkeepers, I think those are going to be the ones that, unless Ederson starts taking penalties. So, yeah.
Unless he starts taking penalties, and we're talking a whole new thing. So I like that. I mean, if you have, I think if at this point, if you have about 4 or 5 double game week players, I think you don't need to force a -4 to get anybody else. I don't even think you need to force it to get 4. I mean, you know what I mean? Because really the only doubles that I don't even know if there are many doubles that I like. Burnley have 2 good fixtures, but something about Burnley scares me. They have like the 4th worst expected goal against in the Prem this season. So for me, they're either on fire and they're getting a clean sheet, or they're opposite. I don't know if I'm kind of mistaken in that one, but I kind of don't trust them that much. But they're juicy fixtures, so I feel like you got to attack it. Man City, if you don't have City defenders at this point, you're not too late. Still go for them and just jump on it right now.
Yeah, I would do that 100%.
Yeah, they're just too solid. That's almost like 6 guaranteed points. I mean, look at Diaz these last. Let me see. Other than that freaking Hudson-Odoi goal in the 93rd minute, they'll never get over.
So
outside of Liverpool, where that you can debate whether that was a penalty or not. That's not what this pod here is for, but I'll let the viewers do that. The last few game weeks, he's got 7 points, 11, 7, 6, 8, 6, and then 1 versus Liverpool. What more could you want, man? What more could you want?
Yeah.
So I like your picks. I mean, Gundogan's obviously just been on fire. He's player of the month this month, if I'm not mistaken. He's just been absolutely fuego as it could be. I don't know if there's many City attackers I want outside of. I think now that like some premiums are struggling, I do think Sterling would be a good shout this week for the double.
Rotation risk again, but
rotation risk for sure. That's my worry about the City attackers, that rotation risk. But if you can hit.
I think Gundogan is 100% going to start both games, but Sterling maybe not.
It's hard to bench Gundogan at this point, man. They're too hot.
Yeah, I messed up last week with that.
What do you think about bringing in DCL? Oh, yeah.
I mean, he plays City, so is that like guaranteed 2 points?
Yeah, you're almost betting on him scoring in Fulham against
Yeah,
Fulham.
so it's basically like a single game week.
Yeah, and just take the 2 points from from City. Hope he doesn't get a yellow card. I mean,
Yeah,
I
I was
just look at it right here. I'm scrolling down, and I mean, Fulham have been better than I think a lot of people want to give them credit for. Now they're still Fulham. There's still nothing to write home about, but they've been performing better. So I mean,
yeah,
you're kind of banking on DCL returning that Fulham match because that City match is they're just so solid.
yeah.
All right, so
Um,
that's the top players are transferred. Anyone else you would suggest? Maybe like looking forward to 25. Maybe a bit too
25.
early predictions on that.
Yeah, I think Southampton I'd probably avoid, especially how they're playing now. I mean, you can assess how they play this week, but I'd probably avoid them, especially if they do another bad run of games. And then for Leeds, I think Leeds assets are probably really good next week. They're the only team that we know of so far, them and Southampton that play, and they're on fire right now. Number one, I bring in Rafinha just because he's so attacking and he's so involved. He's like the main kind of team now.
Love Rafinha.
Yep. Bamford, I think you got to bring him in if you don't have him, just because a lot of people own him. So if he goes off, then your rank's gonna dip.
I
And
think
then
I
if
think I saw someone tweet yesterday that Bamford is great to own, just don't watch the matches because he
he
misses some.
gets so many chances. I mean, he gets so many crosses and his heading. We were talking about Strike before, but his heading is as bad as Strike's.
Yeah,
And then if you want to go for a differential, I'd go Dallas. Maybe try to avoid him. Leeds do concede a lot of goals, but he's playing that center attacking mid position. Alioski's on the left back, so yeah, if he gets attacking returns and if they keep a clean sheet, he's going to get 3 bonus most likely, and a great asset there.
yeah. Dallas. I'm seeing Dallas right now. Dallas is only 14% selected, while being the
Yep,
fourth highest scoring defender in FPL.
a lot of people got rid of him,
A lot of people, they're gonna be bringing him back, man.
100%.
They bring it back now. Remember that Missy Elliott song? Yeah, I
Yep.
think so. As far as Leeds assets, I'm right there with you. I love Rafinha. I love Bamford. And I think Dallas is third. If you want to save some cash, I think Stroik that I have that I'm a big fan of because I have him. He's only like
No,
4 mil, but I don't expect him to stay around much longer.
no,
I know they have some injuries, so I would still rather go Dallas. It's only like 0.8 more.
100%, 100%.
Yeah, I just want to give shout out. I'm just trying to talk myself into Stroik getting me bonus points and a goal in 2 weeks when I play him.
Yeah, I mean, the way that it's heading right now, I don't think it's going to score. But I mean, he could. He got like 4 or 5 chances, like,
Yeah,
easy chances. So
yeah.
yeah,
I agree. And as far as Saints asset Southampton, I kind of agree, man. I mean, I have Danny Ings. I'm not. I mean, I would definitely keep an eye on Wolverhampton this weekend and see how they look, but I just wouldn't go near them. I would stay away. If you have them, I would keep them just because they have a double in 2 weeks. But I wouldn't say to bring him in as much as it hurts me. I'm actually looking right now at last season when they got beat 9-0. 2 games later, Danny Ings scored. So speak it
yeah.
into
Ever
existence,
since that
baby.
9-0, they went off. So yeah,
Maybe. I don't know. I'm with you though. I would just avoid Southampton at this point. A lot of good cheap strikers that I'd rather go for. I'm almost tempted to go back to the 5-man front and throw Harry Kane in for Danny Ings and swap Antonio out and maybe bring in like James Madison, something like that. I'm unsure.
yeah. There's a lot of options there.
All right, so those are your top players to bring in. Just I guess just go real quick. You want a City player, whether it's Diaz, Gundogan. I'm probably gonna go Stones over Cancelo at this point. I think it's just more nailed on, even with Laporte coming back. And you want some Leeds assets for the week after, and that has to be Rafinha, Dallas, and Bamford. Not in that order. Actually, probably that order for me. Burnley defenders. Get into Burnley defender if you can. There's some cheap ones out there. Don't take a -4 to do it though, because I just don't trust Burnley enough to warrant a
Yeah,
-4. And those are really what you should focus on this week.
I think so. Yeah.
I mean,
I
maybe
mean,
maybe like I think I was talking about bringing in Luke Shaw because they face West Brom this week. Maybe if
I
you
mean,
want to, they have 2 good fixtures in a row, but I think I'd rather put my money on bringing in a Burnley defender or a City defender attacker.
yeah, I think a lot of people get like wounded up by the 2 games in one game week, and
Hmm.
you kind of have to look long term. I mean, you
Absolutely.
never know if somebody blanks in one of those games, then it's just like basically a single game week for him. So you got to go for the good game weeks, and you have to actually look to the future. And
Hey, that's
yeah,
a great point. That's a great point. I don't want anyone watching this. Do not destroy your team's integrity just to bring in a couple of Burnley defenders. It may
yeah,
pay off for you this week, but next week Burnley. I guess Burnley have West Brom the week after, so it's not the worst thing in the world. But the last thing you want to do is say I really like having James Justin. I really like having who are some other assets that are James Madison. I don't know, whoever it may be, and just
yeah.
destroy your team just to get in a double, and then spend the next 3 weeks taking -4s, -8s to go back to what you first had. So it's just 1 week. Don't get too carried away with it, but definitely try to attack it as best as you can.
Yep,
All right.
100%
So
agree.
last thing we'll talk about is best captains. Everyone wants a good captaincy return.
Yep,
Um, Kobe, if you're watching this, maybe this is the week we get you back on track, man. Um,
with those hits.
I feel so bad, dude. Oh, he hasn't had a captain return since like 14, something like that. Anyway, best captains this week. I'll pull up the schedule real quick. Let's go to fixtures. Just go to this way. I can't see everything here. That should do it. All right. Who are your best captains this week?
So obviously, there's Bruno Fernandes, plays West Ham. He's on form now. He does look more attacking since Pogba's out, and that just gives him a more pivotal role. He's their main guy, and they don't really look to switch to Pogba since he's out. I think Ole said that he's probably going to miss the game, so
He's
I
out for
think
the season.
Fernandes, 100%. That's a good player to look at. Man City assets, I think you have to look at them. If there's a double game week and includes Man City, I would always look at Man City asset. Defenders, maybe not as much. They play Spurs and Everton.
Yeah.
I think just having 2 defenders is fine, but captaining is a step too far for me, especially how Cancelo is not as attacking as he was before. I think Gundogan or Sterling are great options. I think that Sterling's probably a better option than Gundogan, but I think Gundogan's more nailed on. And if Sterling only starts one of those games, then I think Gundogan, Fernandez are probably my top options this week.
I
What
uh
do you?
I, ha- I have to agree with you on that. So for me, I think instead of Gundogan, I'm actually gonna go Sterling just because I want to be a little different than you. Gundogan's been the hot one right now, but I think I'm kind of thinking Sterling may get penalties now that Gundogan missed. But at the same time, I kind of don't like that strategy of he missed a penalty, so I'm taking him off. Everyone misses penalties. He's been good so far, so I don't see why they would strip it from him, especially for Sterling, who just missed a little while ago.
Yep.
So I think Gundogan still takes him. Um, but I kind of just like Sterling going into this match. I think he could do really well against Everton more than he can against Tottenham. Tottenham are going to sit back. Even Tottenham, they're going to sit back and let City possess. Not like they really had a choice because City are so good at possessing. I think when teams sit back like that, you really need someone that can break that line, kind of squeeze in between center halves, make great runs with and without the ball. And I think if Sterling's on his game, that's exactly what they need to score. And so I think Sterling does get involved in the score sheet in one of those 2 matches. So I think he's a good shout. I also think I'm with you. For me, right now, my captain is Bruno Fernandes. I mean, we saw it with game week. Was it 19 that was a double? Everyone was captaining a bunch of players, and the player that scored the most out of like the higher owned players was Harry Kane, and he only had 1 game week. He had 1 game week. He scored like 10 points or something like that.
Mhm.
Salah got single digits. Bruno got single digits, and so I think just because he only plays 1 game does not mean that he's not a good captain. This Man United versus West Brom game is looking prime for him. I think that's a good shout. I it's really tough one, man, because as far as like the schedules go, I really like that Chelsea versus Newcastle one for Chelsea. But like we said earlier, I don't trust any assets to really throw that armband on. I don't want to bring in Pulisic and throw the armband on him just for, or Werner, and have him play a 1 minute cameo. Same thing with Alonso. I don't trust Burnley defenders to throw an armband on them. I get why someone would do it, but for me, I'm not going to. If Antonio was healthy, that Sheffield game looks good.
Sheffield are playing pretty well now, so
They are actually, yeah.
even against Chelsea, they gave us a tough game. So
They actually bring up a good point.
PCL, but he plays City, and we talked about that earlier. That it's basically a guaranteed 2 points unless somehow they break City's defense. So yeah, I think it's either Bruno or a City attacker.
I agree. I don't think there's any really good other option. I mean, of course, there's going to be players that you don't expect to do really well, right? I mean, you might have I don't know, you might have Cresswell go off for double digits. I hope so, as I have him. You could have Mo Salah just go crazy against Leicester. Anything can happen, man. But yeah. I agree. Those are probably the best probability of getting attacking returns, and I'm going for Bruno myself. All right, man. I think that's it. I appreciate you joining the pod, man.
Yeah, thanks so much, dude.
Anything else you want to drop? A little piece of nuggets for the viewers out there?
Like any facts or anything like about this game week?
Yeah. Any last thing you want to talk about, or just kind of wrap it up?
I think we've pretty much covered it. I mean, my number one thing would be just don't stress too much about the doubles. Once again, there's going to be players that get a lot of points that you don't expect. And there's going to be players that you think are going to get a lot of points because they played 2 games and they blank both of them or even one of them, and basically just turns into a single game week. Mm-hmm. So don't over panic. I would definitely, what you said before, I wouldn't get rid of like a bunch of my assets and take a bunch of hits and get rid of like a bunch of players in your team. But yeah, I try to get like 2 or 3, maybe 4 if you already have a lot of them. Double game week players, and then always just prepare for the future. Look at future game weeks. There's this thing in livefpl.net. It's called Transfer Planner, and you can basically go through your game weeks in the future, and you can save your transfers and captaincy and stuff like that. And yeah, that helps out a lot. So that's a tool I'd recommend to use.
Love it. Love that site, by the way. Love that site.
Amazing, yeah.
All right, man. I appreciate you joining. For everyone out there who's listening, please check out Blues FPL's YouTube channel. Subscribe if you would like. I would say to subscribe, but definitely check them out, see what you think. And it's very important to check out our local and new YouTubers. It's really hard to get views right at the top, man. Really hard to get views, and just check him out. He's really good. Obviously, look at his rank. It's like 68K. And he's a great dude, so check him out, man.
A little bit better.
Yeah. I hope we get better, man. That's what life's all about. Anyway, appreciate everyone for showing up. I don't really have anything else to say. Outkast is the greatest rap group of all time.
Agreed.
Rap duo. It's hard. Well, I'm biased with them. I want to say Wu-Tang is also probably my number 2. I love Wu-Tang, but I'm just a huge Outkast guy. I don't know. What else should I say? Shout out Alicia Keys. She's awesome.
Rihanna.
Shout out Rihanna one time. She's awesome. Shout out Vanessa Carlton. She made a great song that was on White Chicks. Shout out T-Pain. He was once running the music world. Everything that was hot, he was on. Him and Akon. Shout out Akon. I don't know. Shout out Vanessa Hudgens. High School Musical was great back in the day. My sister watched it. Anyway, thank you all for showing up. Have a great weekend, man. May be blessed with a lot of green arrows. Take care, y'all.
See you.